people can identify with that, but that's a short-term remedy that usually you crash at the end, so it's unhealthy. A healthier way would be to eat better, cut out caffeine, or reduce it, and reduce sugar.
Okay. So what else? What else?
Make time for fun and relaxation. Very important. You need to be deliberate to make time to be social. Hang out with friends, with family. Try to imbibe a sense of humor in your life. Stay around people that make you laugh. Laughter is good.
Yes.
Laughing is great. So you need to make time to rest and relax.
Okay. So now we've learned 6 different strategies. So in addition to those 4, we learned these 2 with a healthy lifestyle and learn to relax and have fun. But I know for the sake of our viewers, Dr. Chika, just can you walk us through like a practical way that we do that whole 4 A's, the avoid, alter, adapt, or accept? Just give us a practical example of how we apply those self-management strategies.
Okay, so first you have to start by identifying what your stressors are. What are the things that get me stressed up? Like we said earlier, what constitutes stress for one person may not be stress for another. Mm-hmm. So it's a very individualistic thing. So each individual has to sit down and say, what is it that gets me stressed up? And the easy way to do this is to keep a diary of stressful events. So what are the stressful events that happened? For instance, my kids went late to school again. What was my response? I shouted at the security man. I lost my cool. And what did I do? I got to my office and I ate a lot of cookies. So you have to keep a diary like this that gives you an idea of what are the triggers for you. What are the things that cause you stress? How do you respond to them? And what do you do to manage the stress? You can then have a good look at it and find out what the problem is and see if your coping strategies are good or bad and know whether it's something you can avoid or it's something you can alter or it's something you have to adapt to or it's something that you have to just accept. Yeah. So when you've done that, for instance, in the example that we've given now, you can see that the person has a problem with time management, which is why the kids will keep going late to school and then some other things follow that.
Yes.
So you could decide, for instance, that kids will go to bed 30 minutes earlier and they'll wake up maybe 30 minutes earlier so we can get to school in time. That's a short-term solution to it. But on the long term, you have to look at your time management strategies and ask yourself, what are the things that actually take up my time? Are they things that are important?
Yes.
Or do I waste time maybe on social media when I'm supposed to be doing something else? Are they things that are urgent? So you take your time and really look through them and reorganize your time in such a way that you meet the needs that are the things that you truly want to do, not just things that happen to you.
Exactly. Okay, that's really great. Yeah, that's such a practical example that I can relate to. That's very, very helpful. So Nikki, how do we manage? What is the stress management strategy to deal with that kind of stressor that's actually coming from within you?
I think the best way is to change your thought process, change the way you think about the problems that are hitting you or coming, to you. No doubt, stress, can be frustrating and can make people feel bad about themselves. But when you think about it, when you try to not look at the bad, focus on the bad, and try to change your thinking process, you find out that you cope with it better. I'd like to use an example of, a father or parents who are raising children and having difficulty, as in the times that we are in now, financial, problems. And, being in our African culture, the men are the breadwinner. So you find them struggling when they're not able to do the things that they used to do for their children and feeling bad about it. An example would be if they just, rather than look at it as I can't pay, the bills on time, or we have to cut back on a lot of things, that your children will grow up to have a respect for you as being there for them.
Yes.
And then when you think of it that way, you're like, okay, things are difficult, but you still feel better about yourself. You don't feel as bad. You don't get into depression, which is a negative effect of, constant stress.
We have been talking with Dr. Chika Nya-Etog and Mrs. Nikki Essen about stress management, and we have learned so much. It's been terrific having them here. Thank you so much, Dr. Chika, for being on the show. Thank you for joining us.
You're welcome. I'm glad we were able to take some stress off you by being here.
Thank you. And Mrs. Essen, thank you so very much for being on the Health Zone. You're a newbie, but we love you, and we're definitely going to have you back.
Thank you, Dr. Toju. It's been a pleasure.
We are going to say goodbye to them now and take a quick break. But when I come back, we will recap some of the important things that they talked about. So please don't go away. Stay with us. We learned so much from Dr. Chika and Mrs. Essen about stress management. I mean, it was just amazing, the wealth of information from the two of them. But what I'm going to do now is recap some of the important things that they touched on. Stress can affect your body, your emotions, your thoughts, and even your behavior. If not properly managed, it can contribute to a variety of health problems, such as high blood pressure, heart disease, diabetes, and obesity. It may not appear so, but you have more control over stress than you might think. You can avoid unnecessary stress. You can alter the situation. You can adapt to the stress, or you can accept what you cannot change. Adopt a healthy lifestyle. It always helps. Exercise regularly. Eat healthy. Get plenty of sleep. And by all means, make time for fun and relaxation. As you can see, there are healthier ways to cope with stress and its symptoms that will benefit you right away and in the long run. This has been Dr. Toju reminding you to stay healthy.